Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make this simple kaftan bubu dress with pleated waist, and it's the dress that is just perfect for any occasion because it's beautiful, super stylish and comfortable. And speaking of occasions, guys, Eid is just around the corner and it's that show-stopping dress that you need for the celebration. Don't say I didn't do anything for you guys. Anyways, today's tutorial is also going to be a two-part series like I've been doing in all my recent tutorials. So today's tutorial will be known as part 1 of this kaftan bubu dress tutorial, and I'll be showing you step by step how to cut the design. But before we get started, guys, I'll be using this guinea brocade fabric to cut the design for today, but you can use any fabric you like, any fabric you have. Just make sure that the fabric is not too soft or too light, just so that you can get that flowy structured effect. So you get that structured effect, but the dress is also still flowy the way it looks in the design. The measurements you'll be needing for today's dress design, this kaftan dress design, are your dress length, your full dress length, depending on where you want the how long you want the dress to be, your shoulder to under bust measurement, your shoulder to waist measurement, your actual waist measurement, and your hip measurement. Let's get started, guys. So guys, first things first, we are going to be starting with cutting. Like I said, we are only cutting in this tutorial. And then first things first, you don't need a pattern for this tutorial. So the reason why I have this paper here is just so that I can explain better, and just so that you can see everything that I am going to do on my fabric. Because if I lay my fabric here now, my fabric will be too wide for the table, number one, and you may not really see clearly what I'm doing. So this paper here will be representing my fabric. So everything, all the calculations and all the markings that I'll be talking about, you'll be doing it directly on your fabric when you want to sew. So I hope you got the drift. So guys, this is my fabric. The first thing I'm going to do is to fold it lengthwise like this, and then I'm just going to measure how long I want the dress to be. So for the person I'm making this dress for, our full length is 55 inches, and that is how long we want the dress to be. So I'm just going to measure that 55 inches from here down, from here down, 55 inches. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to fold my fabric. I'll just fold it once more like this, and this is it. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to get the largest measurement on your body. So for me, for the person I'm making it for, the largest measurement is the hip, I think. So the largest measurement is the hips, which is 43 inches. So for you, it could be your bust. So just pick the largest measurement on your body. Then I'm going to add 10 inches to that measurement, and then I'm going to divide it by 4. So that is that will give me 53 divided by 4, and that gives me 13.3 inches. So that 13.3, I'll measure it from this out, from this out, from this out, and this is it right here marked. So I'm just going to cut the excess. I'll cut it out. Now this part here, this top part here, represents my shoulder, the shoulder of my dress, and this part here represents my hem, the hem of my dress, like we talked about earlier. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to measure my shoulder to under bust measurement. So measure that on your body, shoulder to under bust, and then also your shoulder to waist measurement. So I'm going to do that now. So now under bust measurement is 15 inches. So I'll just measure that 15 inches from here down, and then shoulder to waist is 17 inches. So I'll measure 17 inches also down, and this is it. This is my waist. I'm just going to label that, and this is my under bust. Now before we continue with the markings we have to do here, let's draw in our neckline first. So at the top here, I'm going to measure 3 inches this way, 3 inches this way, and 3 inches this way, and this is it. So I'm just going to connect all the points, and then we can cut out. So guys, I don't want this round neckline at the front, so it's going to only be at the back. So I'm going to open this. You open the fabric up this way. So once you open it up, you already know that this is our front, our full front, and here is our full back. So at the front, I want a V neckline at the front, so I'm going to open the fabric up this way, and then I'll fold it again. So we still know that this is still our shoulder, and this is the center of our dress. So you can just pin it down so that it doesn't move around. Now from my shoulder here, I'll just measure 7 inches down. That is how long I want my V neckline to be. So from here, 7 inches. So yeah, this is my V neck. So I'm just going to cut this out now. That's it. So we can go back to how we folded our fabric before. And this is it. This is it. So yeah, we are back to where we started. Let's do the further things we need to do to the dress. Now on the waist level here, on the waist level measurement here, divide your waist measurement by 4, and then you mark it out here. So the waist measurement here is 37 inches. So I'm going to divide 37 by 4, and that gives me 9.3 inches. So yeah, now one thing, normally I would have marked the 9.3 inches here, but I don't want to. If you look at the dress, you'd see that it has like a fitted waist, but I don't want to have a fitted waist on mine because I don't want to put a zipper at the back of my dress. So if you don't mind putting a zipper at the back of your dress, just measure the actual waist measurement, divide by 4, whatever you get, just mark that. So for me, I want to give it some more ease, so I'm going to add 1 inch to that measurement. So 9.25 plus 1 is 10.25. So, or rather 9.3, rather it's measured 9.3. 9.3 plus 1 is going to give me 10.3. So I'll just mark that 10.3 on my waist level here. Now this is the waist mark here. Now measure what you have remaining from here outside. So for me, I have 6.3 inches remaining after marking my waist measurement here. So from here outside, I had 6.3. So that 6.3, depending on how many pleats you want to have on the waist of the dress. So if you want to have, let's say, 4 pleats, you divide that 6.3 that we have here, you divide it by 4. If you want to have 2, you divide by 2. But for me, I want to have 3 pleats. So I'm going to divide that 6.3 that I have here, I'll divide it by 3. And that's going to give me 2.1 inches. So that 2.1 inches will be the width of my pleats. Now before marking my pleat location, if you look at the dress, you would see that the pleats did not start from the middle of the dress. So they gave it like a bit of space before pleating the dress. So for me also, I want to do it that same way. So I'll just measure, I want to give it like a distance of, let's say, 2 inches from the midpoint here. So I'll measure that 2 inches right here, and this is my 2 inches right here. Now I'll begin to measure that my pleat width, the width of my pleat. Sorry about that. Now I'm going to start measuring my the width of my pleat. Now that 2.1, I'll measure it from here outside. So this is my first pleat location. Let me just label it pleat 1. So we'll give it another distance. So the distance we measured from here, which is 2 inches, I'll measure it again from here. I'll measure 2 inches again from there before we'll now measure our second pleat. So this is the distance. Now let's measure our second pleat, which is this 2.1 inches. We'll measure our second pleat, and then we'll label that pleat 2. Now let's measure another distance again, 2 inch distance from here out. Now we'll mark out our third pleat. So we'll measure our 2.1 inches again from here outside. And now everything we marked on our waist will also, you can just trace it and mark it on your under bust level too. So mark everything out on your under bust because it's the same. So we are going to be sewing the same thing there. So now that's it. Now you can just use your pins. Remember, this paper is your fabric. We don't have a pattern. I'm just using this paper as a fabric. So you can just put a pin into this just so that you get the accurate pin that we have here. put a pin into this and then open this up, and then you just mark. So it's easy for you to mark this out. So it's easy for you to mark it. You see, you mark this, and then it's also showing beneath at the bottom, so you mark this also, and then you do the same also for the other lines, just so that you have the same accuracy as you have in front. Everything is aligned and everything. So yeah, that's that for now. And so guys, when you sew the pleats, this is what is going to give. And that's it for today's tutorial, guys. In the part 2 of this kaftan bubu dress tutorial, we'll be sewing up the dress together and finishing up everything, including the waist pleats and everything that is in the design. So hit the subscribe button below your screen so you don't miss out on that tutorial. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.